Hi, my name is Brandon I. Brooks. I'm the managing editor with the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper and the LA Watch Times newspaper. And it's my absolute pleasure today to be here with Mr. Nolan Rollins, the president of the Los Angeles Urban League. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, Brandon. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely excellent, and I do appreciate your time today because we know you're a very busy man in your schedule, but we are here today for a momentous occasion, as I would like to say, but an important reason of a testament to your work and the trailblazing work you are doing.
What I would say is that in every violent action that happens in our community, there's a cry for help. Because what we've got to be smarter at is understanding why that violence happened. Now, let me be really clear. There are some people who are just not interested in being fair and just, and who need to be in jail. There are some people that are there. But what I would then say to you is that there's a large majority of people that these challenges on the corners are challenges of people crying out that I can't find another way to feed my child. I can't find another way to keep myself in housing. I live on the street. So again, we've got to be intellectually honest about what the challenges are. If people have they have a disagreement about whose corner this is or who's, that disagreement is about turf and space because of economy. It's about turf and space because of a product that people are selling on that corner. So if we actually are really smart about how we unpack what's actually happening here, we would be much better at actually solving our problem with crime, because we are not going to be able to arrest our way out of it. That's number one. And number two, we cannot just sit back and pretend that there aren't underlying reasons for this happening. It's not just, I don't like you, you don't like me. It's often, there are other things that are under this that are really the catalyst for that happening. And what I would always argue, and this is the Urban League's position on this, that a large portion of the catalyst have to do with a person's ability to earn and live the American dream. And if we aren't really honest with ourselves about that, we're fooling ourselves that we're ever going to stop the challenges with violence in the community. We're fooling ourselves if we're ever going to do that. I mean, when you look at our communities and you look at where the crime is happening, it's disproportionately in the spaces and places that have been disinvested. There is no investment in the communities where their greatest challenges are. So what happens then? People have to resort to the lowest common denominator of figuring out, how can I master the marketplace in a disinvested community? These are economic principles, right? They're economic principles that if you look at this in a market space, it's called scarcity, right? You don't have opportunity. So when there's scarcity, you have someone who is saying, you know what? There's scarcity, but there's a little island. I'm going to own that island, and I'm going to fiercely protect that island. So we've got to be really smart about that. And I think organizations like ours have to be, number one, conscious, but we've got to raise the level of discourse, that it can't just be about us reacting to the violence and saying, well, it's just those. No, these are our people. These are our boys, our girls. These are our children that are crying out every single day for us to act like adults. And what that means is for us to think in ways that we will solve the problems that are happening there. Because I don't think that we have a violence problem. We have a hopelessness problem. And hopelessness will force you to do anything that you have to do in order to survive the next day. And if you can't solve that hopelessness problem, this thing that we think is a violence problem is just going to continue.